All right, into the charts we go here, guys. Take a look at Bitcoin. Yesterday, we did talk about a close above this first yellow line would likely push us into that 30,000 Pierce situation, and that is exactly what has happened. Now, for me, I used it as an opportunity to add to my short position. Still a relatively small short position on the Bitcoin play, but again, about 5% of my portfolio. But again, the key is look at where it is. I mean, this is just tremendous, folks. You had the green candle yesterday, the follow through in the overnight getting us up to this level. Look at that level. Look at the down sloping trend line. Look at the level that I had in on the charts. And where did Bitcoin go? Where did it put in a pivot high short term? Right into that level. I mean, this is the beautiful thing about the charts. Now, again, you see on social media the clamor, the euphoria, everyone going crazy about a new bull market in crypto. I look at this and I say, yeah, it's great, but you know what? It's into resistance. So for me, I play the resistance trade until it is proven otherwise, and I will watch and see what happens here over the next 5 to 7 trading days. Now, do we pull back sharply? Do we start to make a bull flag? Do we go right through this level? We will see something occur over the next 24 hours. The reason why I say that is because tomorrow morning, the CPI data will be released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll get the CPI data. Then the next day, we'll get PPI data. The next day, we get the bank earnings from JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo. So again, a lot of the banking stocks, remember the banking sector crisis actually helped Bitcoin. This run right here was primarily due to that panic in the banking markets. So the bank earnings in this situation are relatively important for the crypto markets to see if there continues to be panic in those companies and what is going on their balance sheets. Okay, so again, calm before the storm in a way where, again, it's had a nice move up here, but can it continue? What's that CPI data? What inflation data does that show? Remember, CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. It's basically a basket of goods that the price is tracked in, right? So again, whatever it is in there, if it's a cucumber, if it's a carrot, whatever it is, in there's a basket of goods. There's a TV in there. There's a this, there's a that, right? And ultimately, it's a matter of how are those prices month over month going? Are they increasing? Are they decreasing? Are they staying the same? And that's how we get our CPI number. All right, so again, that is tomorrow morning, but again, remarkable. You had the consolidation here. We finally broke through this level after hitting it so many times, but look at where we went. And remember, I talked about this. I said, hey, listen, guys, even if we break up, and I said there's a decent chance that that could happen, but you don't have a lot of upside here. The upside takes you to about 30,500. That was the level that I kept on repeating. What was the high of the day? 30,438. That was the high of today thus far. So again, let's see where this goes. Remember, we have a down-sloping trend line from this pivot right there, down here to this pivot, and that's what we actually have hit today. And then this level right here through these lows, right through this area here, that again coexists right into this level. And again, that's right around 30,500. All right, again, short term, is Bitcoin getting a little overdone? It is. It absolutely is. And again, into resistance, you would generally favor a pullback. Now, the key is this. Let's talk about support and resistance levels. So number one, we are at resistance on Bitcoin. Number two, assuming we close above yesterday's high, the breakout above this level will confirm. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you pull back, this now becomes a support level, and price will have to fight through that. Can it do that? Of course it can, but initially it's going to be some good support. So again, support, assuming we confirm today, would be at around 28,700, which was resistance. Remember, the metrics of technical analysis signal that when you break resistance, it becomes support. When you break support to the downside, it becomes resistance on the way back up. Okay? So right now we'll watch that, but right now we're into resistance. Assuming we confirm, support is now 28,700, followed by this level at 26,700, followed by a move down to 25, and then obviously down to 21.5, we'll call it right down here. All right, on the upside, let's just say we do get through this level. Where would be your next resistance? Your next resistance is clear as day to me. It is right here at around 34,500 to 35,000, right here. Pivot low, pivot low right there. That's kind of a mid-level. It's not a major level. It's more of a mid-level. All right, so that would be another level of resistance. And then also we have this upsloping trend line right here, which would be a very, very big level of resistance right into that 44,000 level right up there. In between here and here, you actually do have some other resistance. There'll be a minor level around 37,600, and then the next one would be around that 44,000 level. On the support side, we already covered those supports on the way down. That is what we have. Now, what's interesting here is that, number one, Ethereum is really not having a super strong day like we're seeing on Bitcoin, just like yesterday. Yesterday it was up, but again, notice how it didn't take out this pivot high. Today it kind of just tagged that high and actually has reversed. And now Ethereum is actually negative on the day. So again, what this tells me is it's best of breed, even beyond Ethereum. So we're seeing money flow going into Bitcoin, but a momentum trade and then best of breed. All right, because Ethereum, again, is not participating in the upside today. In addition, Ethereum didn't make new highs, like here's the high, and we didn't take out that high today. So you're still holding above this blue trend line, but it's going to take more momentum to get it to pop into the 2,000 level, which will be your next resistance level. On the way down, if we come down, couple things I'm watching here, very clear as day trend line that everyone should see right here. Just connect these lows right there. They connect perfectly up. That'll be your first level, which kind of coordinates right now with the blue trend line. If that breaks, you'll have minor support here, minor support here, minor support here, and then again, major would come in at this level right down here. Now, I did see some of the alts popping a little bit. Solana popped on my radar here. Look at that nice little move on Solana. So Solana is making a move up. Look at the wedge pattern here. The wedge pattern, it is breaking above. In addition, this downward channel, it's also breaking above that. That is short-term bullish. You wouldn't actually chase price here, but what this means is if we confirm, and we can't confirm until tomorrow, but if we confirm this breakout, then a retrace into this level would be a buying opportunity. All right, looking at some of the other alts. Some of the other alts, by the way, are not really acting that great. I mean, here you have Avalanche creeping above a trend line, but honestly, that's kind of a weak move at this point on Avalanche. It's not a strong move like Solana. And then if we continue on here and we take a look at, let's take a look at a couple others. How's Cardano doing? Cardano made a short-term higher high here, but it's already backed off and is basically flat on the day or just fractionally higher. Still hasn't taken out this high over here, let alone piercing this high, but then coming back below it. All right, take a look at Matic here on the charts. Matic is not doing anything. I tell you, very, very poor price action on Matic today. To see that type of move in Bitcoin, even some of the alts like Solana and Polygon, which is Matic, again, barely catching a little bit of a bid right here. So that's just something to kind of keep an eye on as well. All right, if we go through a few of these other ones, we'll look at Binance real quick. Binance did catch a little bit of a bid. Look at today's price action. Where did it go? Right into that level. That's classic resistance, and it is backing off from that point at this time. All right, let me see what else we have on the radar here as we continue to scroll through. Let me go to XRP. We could take a look at XRP. And again, XRP not doing much there. In fact, this is a little bit of a bearish pattern on XRP developing off of this move. So again, down move, inside bar. Again, the path of least resistance would be a move at some point down to about 47 cents. Obviously, that could change depending on whether or not we get some sort of ruling out from a judge on the final decision of that ruling. But as of now, not a whole lot going on there. Let's look at Polkadot real quick. Polkadot's having a little bit of a move up, but same thing. Relatively weak. Still hasn't taken out this high pivot from just a few days ago or about a week ago. And again, that one is staying put at this point in time. All right, so again, that's what we have on that front. Let me go through a couple other charts out there. Let's take a look at that H-bar, see what we have on H-bar here. Let's see here. We'll go to the Binance chart on that one. That chart does not show me anything. In fact, the price action to me is very poor on this one. Here's a high. Here's a much lower high, and even with the price action here, it is not doing anything. The only thing you could care about right here, look at this trend line right here. So if this breaks this trend line, watch out below. As long as it holds it, could you get momentum to come in? Yeah, maybe. But again, if this were to break this trend line to the downside and confirm, you're headed down here, and then eventually much, much lower. So again, keep an eye on that. I think that's definitely worthwhile just watching. And again, I will be watching that very, very closely as well. All right, so again, just to keep an eye on, it's good to kind of analyze these charts and see what the heck's going on these, because, yeah, interesting stuff. By the way, I'm just noticing Bitcoin making a little bit of a push up here back to 30,400. Not a big move up from where it was, $100 up or so, but it is making a little bit of a push higher here on the overall chart. And again, keep an eye on that 30,500. Now remember, guys, if it gets above 30,500 and closes, that's important because you want to see it stay above there for about 5 to 7 trading days. If that happens, then at that point you're building a bull flag and you're building a new wall of support at the 30,500 level. If that does happen, then I do think at that point you can at least say, okay, the lows of the cycle are in. Doesn't mean we're not going to come back down to 25,000 at some point, but ultimately at some point we should actually make a move back down and then look for another move higher in the upside direction. Okay, so again, just a couple little things I want you guys to keep an eye on here as the charts continue to rotate and maneuver. All right, anything else? There's 30,467 now, so we're now bubbling up. Remember, I talked about the high earlier. We've now made a slightly higher high at 30,477. Let's see if we can pierce 35,000 on this chart of Bitcoin, as again, it is making a run to the upside, and again, we'll keep an eye on that. But certainly, again, pretty impressive little move here. There it is, 30,500 just while I'm doing this video. So we're now piercing that level. Now the question is, can it get above there? Can it go through that level? How's it going to react here? And again, that is going to be a big, big deal here. All right. 30,550 now we just tagged right there. So again, interesting to watch that. Now, would I potentially add if we go a little bit higher? I'll have to see. Remember, I added in the overnight at around 30,160, I think it was. So we're not really that far away from that level just yet, but I will keep an eye on it absolutely and just kind of decide whether or not at that point I feel comfortable adding to that position there at a certain level. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to get going here, but I'm going to keep an eye on this. Let's see again where this goes. Can it close today above that level? We're now starting to pull back below 30,500. And again, as of now, we're into the major, but the last level of resistance, but it is the most major here. All right, you guys have a good one. I'll keep you posted. Take care.